Hi, it's currently Sunday night, which means it's already the end of day 2 of Battleathon week 3, and I obviously haven't updated you with any of my reading plans. So what we're going to do is flash to Future Casty, who's going to tell you all about my reading plans because I have yet to do that. And then we're going to come back here and I'm going to tell you about the progress I've made in my first book because I just feel like in the middle of my bedroom is not the appropriate place to really give you my first update. Hello and welcome back to my channel and welcome to week 3 of Battleathon. If you don't know what Battleathon is, it is a month-long readathon created by my bestie, Melanor Reads, and I'm co-hosting a team for it. I am co-hosting the red team with my other bestie, Books with Lexi, and I'm very excited that we get to do this all month long. At the time you're seeing this video, it is not too late to join. We have 1 week left in the readathon, but you can still participate. You just have to do your dragon bonding prompt, and then you will continue to read for whatever we are currently reading for week 4. I definitely think that you should check out the announcement video, which will be linked down in the description bar below. Week 3 for me is all about reading 5-star predictions. So about a month ago, I made a video with 10 5-star predictions, and we're gonna see if I am accurate at my predicting and read a couple of those. Again, I'm bringing the spinner wheel back. We will be spinning to find which book to read because I just can't decide myself. But I'm excited to see if any of these actually are 5 stars because typically I really suck at 5-star predictions. You and me will see whether I'm great this time or whether I flopped really badly. Okay, welcome back. I am currently in the construction zone that is my room. I'm on my mattress that's just on the floor, getting ready for bed. You can see probably in the mirror, there's a box right there. And then there's just literally nothing around me. So we're not thriving currently. However, I have started Empire of Sand. Not me completely forgetting to show you that I spun the wheel. Okay, time for a spin. Empire of Sand by Tasha Suri. Okay, we can continue now. I am 75 pages in. I'm about to start chapter 5. I am really enjoying it so far. I think that it's a really interesting world building. It's a cool setting. It is Middle Eastern. It's happening within a desert currently. There is the devas that are magical, and I really like the idea of our main character being the descendant of a line that has prejudice against them. The king is trying to get rid of this line that our main character is, and I think that that's going to add some really interesting things to the story. It is a fantasy romance. I haven't gotten to the romance part yet, but I'm really intrigued to see where it goes, and I'm excited to update you as time goes on. So I am just going to curl up. It's 10:30 at night, so I'm going to read a little bit of this before bed, and then I'm also probably going to watch some TV. I don't know what I'm going to watch because I've already watched episode 1 of Southern Charm that aired. Obsessed with the new season. I think it's going to be a very, very messy season, and I'm caught up on Salt Lake City Real Housewives currently. I also did start One Piece with Nick. We're watching One Piece the live action together because we also watched the anime together. So far, really impressed with the live action. I think it follows the anime quite well. Yeah, I'm having a good TV time, but I don't know what I'm gonna watch tonight. If anyone has any good TV show recommendations, let me know down below. I honestly watch everything, but I am in a reality TV era where I've just been really loving reality TV, so any good reality TV shows would really work for me. I'll see you tomorrow. I will update you tomorrow, I promise, with some sort of thoughts. If not, I plan on making my TV stand tomorrow and trying to get my room kind of back to being sorted. I am planning to rearrange it a little bit. My head used to go over there and it was pushed up against the wall on one side, but I think I'm gonna put my head on this wall and have room for 2 nightstands on each side now, which is a whole long story about last week and returning a bed and things like that. If you haven't watched week 2 vlog, you definitely should go do that. This one is real close to me. My room is a construction zone still, so please ignore it. However, I did finish making the cabinet, which is what you guys are sitting on, which is gonna be my new TV stand, and I'm really excited about that. I think it's gonna look pretty good. I put it together, so just as good as I can do because I'm definitely, with IKEA furniture, a impatient builder, and that's why things don't last forever and I build them wrong because I'm impatient. But I think it looks pretty good. I'm pretty proud of it. This one is so cute right now. He loves when my bed is on the floor. I don't have a bed frame yet. I've been listening to the Empire of Sand audiobook while I've been doing this, and I strongly recommend the audiobook. I think the audiobook production is actually really incredible. I'm really enjoying it. I am 50% in. I'm on chapter 15. I'm honestly having a really good time with this story. I had been putting the story off for a really long time, and I'm really glad that Maria has kind of urged me to pick it up and thought that I would love it, because I put it off thinking I wouldn't love it, and then I made it a 5-star prediction because Maria thought I would love it. So shout out to Maria, because I am actually really enjoying this. In this story, we're following Mare, and she is the illegitimate daughter to the governor of a land. Now, the governor rules this land but does still listen to the emperor. Now, the emperor has a hate for what is a race called the Emrethi, and of course it happens to be that our main character Mare is half Emrethi. Her mother was Emrethi. The Emrethi are descendants of spirits, and they have magical abilities, and they're just really hated on by this emperor, and this emperor tries to annihilate them. Our main character's father uses his wealth to hide her from the emperor, but of course she does something, and privilege only gets her so far, and now the emperor wants her. And what is he going to do with her? Because he's known to hate them, and there is very little Emrethi left in the world because of him, which I'm really enjoying. This is definitely Middle Eastern inspired. We have Middle Eastern lore going on, and we have like the devas, and I'm loving the setting and the dreaminess of this story. It definitely reminds me of what the Devabad does for me. I just feel very enriched into the story itself, into the culture, into what's going on. It feels very like dreamscape to me, and I really enjoy how immersive this book feels to me. I am liking our main character. This is a fantasy romance, and I don't like love the romance necessarily, but I love the plot line that's happening, and the romance adds to that plot line for me. But I'm not like sitting here like, oh my god, the moments of them together are incredible and amazing. I guess calling this a fantasy romance could be a disservice. I think it's a fantasy with romance, not necessarily like a fantasy romance. Like when someone says fantasy romance, I think about those moments of like pining and banter and things that happen in those scenes, and just like fully rooting for the couple. I am not necessarily the plot line, and in this I'm definitely like interested in the plot line, not the romance, but I'm happy to see the romance unfold, if that makes sense. I want to keep reading it. I'm hoping to finish it today, so let's see how big of a dent I can make while I continue to tackle my room. Next up is the area over there that I'm not going to show you, that is disgustingly dirty. All of that needs to be taken apart so I can like steam clean my carpet over there, and I can put together everything back. My TV also needs to be hooked back up, which will be a lot of fun to have tonight instead of using my laptop for TV. Due to spring conversations, I realized taco in a bag is not normal for everyone, and it is the best thing to ever exist, so you should have it. I'm having it for dinner. Just like crush up your Dorito chip, cut them lengthwise, and you put all your taco seasonings inside, and it is literally delicious. So you should definitely have some taco in a bag next dinner time. Hi, I've been out doing a lot of shopping this morning, but I did get a decent way through this. I'm 75% through Empire of Sand currently, and I'm not gonna lie, since last time I checked in with you, I am just waiting for this book to end. I really liked the initial setup, the initial atmosphere. I love the world building we got in the beginning. I loved the like family scheming, and I loved the characters in the beginning of this book. So it's really funny to say, like, once we got to the new setting within this story, I really disliked all of the characters. I felt like the beginning characters had so much potential for me, and these new characters that were introduced all feel so flat. I was expecting a lot more nuance in the Emperor and him being this big bad, and I think that's like really what isn't doing it for me, as well as just like the romance itself, because this is sold as a fantasy romance all the time, is just bland. Like, I do not care about the romance. I do not care if they get together. I do not care if they die. Really, it doesn't even feel like romance. It doesn't feel like they have good chemistry to me. It more feels like trauma bonding, which I get that you could bond over your trauma and then end up having a relationship, but it doesn't really feel like, it feels like a forced relationship to me, which is what it is in this story, but I think that you're supposed to feel like it feels natural eventually. It doesn't to me. And I just like, I feel like we're going around in circles within it. I don't know. I had so much hope for this. I love the like world we created. I love the idea of the magic and the Emrethi people being outcast because of their magic, and the Emperor wanting to use power and magic and things like that for personal gain. But I just feel like at the end of the day, I wanted a little bit more dimension to the entire story, and I'm really struggling with it. Like, I think maybe if you cared about the characters, you'd be more invested in like the last 30%, because it was very like small moments, but I was just so bored. I just like wanted it to end. I think this will come out as a 3, but we will see because the last 25% could continue to bore me enough that it ends up a 2, or it could really entertain me that it ends up a 4. So wild card here, but I have a lot of IKEA stuff to do in my room, so I'm going to go back to doing that and leave you guys for another time until we get to the final update. I finished Empire Sand. I'm giving it 3 stars. But I'm also using it for a backlist prompt, which is Red Team's bonus prompt, as well as I saved my level up prompts for this week, knowing that this was the most important week for us. Because we have to win our battles this week in order to be able to play for first or second next week. So like this was like my priority week. Which, why I'm also doing 5-star predictions. However, 5-star prediction turned 3-star, not going so well. So I'm also using this for the red cover prompt. I think I don't have a lot more to say than I've already said about this. This relationship felt more like a trauma bond than a chemistry-filled relationship. However, I also will say it's not a relationship that I gravitate towards reading about. I'm definitely more of an enemies to lovers. I love a love interest who starts out as a douchebag and then turns better. I love characters in fantasy romances who are giving it to each other, who have a lot of banter going on, and these two were not those characters. In some ways, they remind me of the relationship from Daughter of No Worlds, just two people who mutually bond over their trauma and fall in love, and it's also something that really didn't work for me in Daughter of No Worlds, so I think that maybe if that worked for you, this could work for you, or vice versa. I think it's a type of story that I don't vibe with. I think that neither of those relationships for myself had any chemistry, and I didn't buy the relationships in them. That is all I have to say about that. And the other thing for me is I just felt I was like underwhelmed by where this plot went. The way it finishes, the conclusion, the way out for our main character was very simple to me. It was very like clearly the easiest path seen really early on for me, and I was hoping that that wouldn't be the path taken, because I was like, well, why did it take us so long to get to this path when it was very like easily achieved in my opinion. So I just kind of struggled with that. I liked the world building in this. I thought it was very like dreamy and atmospheric in ways that reminded me of City of Brass. Of course, they come from the same mythology, so that's like an easy comparison. But even just like the dreamlike style that I think City of Brass does, like the David Bad trilogy does for me, this also did for me. But I love David Bad, and I think David Bad has some of the strongest characters I've ever read, and these are not the strongest characters I've ever read. These characters just fall so flat for me. I wanted more nuance to them, to the big bad, to the overall just everyone, just literally everyone, and that's all I can say. But also, I don't know if you can see him, look at Mickey looking so cute. Also, like, isn't my room coming together from last time you saw it? I put my new bedding on that I bought today. That's a fake plant that I bought today. There's also a fake plant right there, and this mirror is going to get spray painted gold tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow, which is exciting. And then there's like these gold frames that are gonna go above my bed when my bed frame is ready. I don't know if I've updated the vlog that like I bought a bed frame today. I don't think I did. But it has to be stained, so like my process is tomorrow to stain it. I'm really excited for that. I'm excited for this to be over and done with. Yeah. Let's go spin, and I will pick up another book and update you when I've reached a reading point in that book. The blank space where Empire of Sand was is going to be the last book in the Scullerman series. So let's spin and see what we end up with. The Emperor's Blade. I'm so excited for this one. That was such a good spin. Let's go! Good morning. My hair is literally wet. I decided that I needed to run to H Mart to get soup dumplings and Korean rice cakes because I was out of them and I'm craving them so badly today. So I'm gonna go get some and then make them as soon as I'm home. But that means like I literally just like showered and left my house. I needed, like, my personality is just like so obsessed about something. When I think of it, I need it, I have to have it, and I go do that. However, while we are here, I figured I can update you on the Emperor's Blade because we did spin for this, and I am 96 pages in. So far, I am really enjoying this one. I just love the idea of what this story is, I think. Essentially, we're following our 3 characters who are all children of the Emperor, and when the Emperor is murdered, we're then following our children as they have to figure out what life then means to them, and then maybe also who murdered their father. We've spent most of the time in Valen's POV, and I am liking him the best so far. He is training in a military institute to, like, make him a killer. He is quite aware that he thinks that there is this gigantic ploy to kill the entire, like, Emperor's bloodline off, and so I find his POV very interesting. We also have, like, these giant birds in his POV, which I think is really cool, and we've seen a lot of more friendships in his POV, and, like, other characters, which I'm really enjoying. But we also do follow Caden, who is the heir to the unhewn throne, and Caden is currently living his life as a monk training up in this, like, monastery, so he doesn't really know what's going on yet, but Caden is the most at risk since he is the heir. They also have, like, these eyes, which I think is really cool. And then we follow Adair, who is the daughter. She is told that she could never rule the unhewn throne because she is a woman, and we kind of see her, like, fight back against that, but also, like, prove herself, and I have been liking hers. Hers happens, like, at court, so I think we're going to see a lot of that court politics undo, you know, become a thing in her POV. So far, we definitely have gotten mostly Valen's POV, though. That's why it's, like, easy for me to gravitate towards him. But I will keep... Is this necessary? Can you hear that? I'll keep you updated. Oh, hi. We're back in the car. Sorry to the next person who goes to H Mart to buy soup dumplings in Edmonton because I bought all the chicken ones. So hopefully you like pork soup dumplings. Which I like pork too, but I did buy some pork as well. But then something was just calling to me to go to Value Village because I hadn't been there for a long time and see what books they had. And guess what? I walked out with a stack of books. I love when that happens. I'm not, like, the hugest mass market paperback fan, but when it comes to, like, buying old school fantasy and, like, for $2 a book, I will buy mass market paperback. The first ones I saw were The Dragon Prince by Melanie Ron. This was on my first Dragon TBR video, and I've been wanting to read it since then, so I figured, well, they had the complete... Wow. I just realized that I bought one book twice instead of I thought it was the complete trilogy. But they're just so worn that they look different. Oops, my bad. That's okay. They're literally $2, so not a big deal. But I did buy the first and the second then in the series. I also bought a book by Kate Elliott. I've been wanting to try Kate Elliott, but I don't like Kate Elliott covers, so a mass market that I can hide works really well. I bought The Prince of Fools, book 1 of the Red Queen's War. I don't actually own any of the books in this series. It's the last Mark Lawrence series. Not the last, there are more. This is one of the Mark Lawrence series I haven't read yet, so I figured why not, while it was there, buy it, because I can only get mass markets of these anyways. And then I bought the volume 1 of the Deathgate Cycle, which I own books 2 and 3 in hardcover at home, and I figured I will eventually want to find the hardcover of book 1 if I like it, but I can't read it until I have book 1, so why they had it, and again, $2, may as well. Then I picked up the second book in the House of Night series because my patrons are doing a chill read-along of it currently, and I think we're supposed to read book 2 in October, me and Mel, so I saw that they had it, picked it up. Pretty good deal in my mind. The other thing I saw at H Mart were these gummies, and I've never had them before, so I figured we would try one. We're gonna go mango. This is so weird. It tastes like a haichu, for sure, but inside it's like a chewy candy, like a haichu, but then there's like gummies as well that are like bubbles. I don't know how to explain it. It was weird. It tastes good though, so I'll eat them. But a weird experience. Let's go home now and make myself some soup dumplings. Hi! I got containers. This is the Lidto one, but they fit. I'm very happy. I ordered them online. I wasn't sure that they would fit, but they fit very nicely into here, and they have lids and everything, which is kind of nice. So, TV stand, packaging, good. I need to order more because I only ordered a few, and then I was waiting to see like if they fit before I ordered the rest, because I think I want 6. So I have 2, but I'm here to update you on the Emperor's Blade. Also today I was supposed to be staining, but I think I told you it was raining. I couldn't. I am 50% into this currently. I am still really liking it. I'm liking just like learning about the world and like what's happening in the politics. I'm even liking learning about each character, but I don't think it'll end up being 5 stars because I am just like struggling with the personalities of the characters, all three of them run together for me. It's really kind of hard, besides like names, or if we're in the female POV, like hearing that she's a girl. They all really, really run together. They have very like similar personalities, and I guess like in some ways you could say like if you're all born and raised together that yes, your personalities would kind of rub off on each other, but I just wish that they'd stand out a little bit more from each other. But I am overall just really enjoying the plot of this story, and that's like carrying it for me. I want to keep reading it. I don't want to put it down. I am very engaged in the story and the plot, and even the world building, because there is like some cool like god stuff happening, like the blank god and like old gods and stuff like that. Like I'm really intrigued by all of that. But it doesn't have like an instant love of characters the way a lot of books do. But like I am still really interested in the characters, so I don't know how to explain this to you. Right now it's feeling like a 4-star from me. So I just really actually want to continue reading though, because like I'm excited to see where it goes. So let me get to that. Good morning. It's Thursday. It is the day that I'm staining my bed, so that's what I'm off to do today, which means I probably won't get a lot of reading done. I needed coffee. This is so good. It's just 2 shots of espresso, a tablespoon of brown sugar, and then I added a sprinkle of pumpkin pie seasoning, and then just milk, and it's a brown sugar latte. It's delicious. Anyways, I probably won't get a lot of reading done today. However, I did literally just while making this coffee finish The Emperor's Blade. Bookmark out. I did use the Green Dragon bookmark just because it matched so well. And I have conflicted feelings on this one. I really, really, really liked elements of the story, and then I struggled with other elements. The biggest thing I think I struggled with were the characters. They did really blend together for most of the story. I think the last like 50 pages I kind of saw more of their personalities come out, which has me a lot more excited for book 2. I also think that we saw plot lines being set up for book 2, which has me really excited because this book is 100% Valen's story. We spend, I want to say like 70% of this book in Valen's POV, and I loved his POV. He's my favorite, so that made sense for me and worked for me. However, I do wish I had seen the other POVs a little bit more. I would have been okay with this book being longer in order to have more POVs. Specifically, I really wish we had gotten Adair's POV a little bit longer. I think what was happening back in the capital was really interesting with her, and like the final chapter of the story that is hers made me like go, yes, I am excited to see where this story is gonna go from here, and I just like really, really enjoyed that. Now, I think a lot of people are going to struggle with this book because our characters are not the smartest, but they are like 17-year-old boys and girls. They haven't seen a lot of life, and I think that when your father dies unexpectedly and you're expected to take up the mantle of what your father was, you are going to make dumb mistakes throughout it, and I think that you see that in this, and I enjoyed it, but I think a lot of people would really struggle with how many dumb decisions our characters make, and you're like screaming at them. But I felt like all the dumb decisions made a lot of sense for those characters, in my opinion, and like what they were going through and their things that, how I would react with like the emotions that they have and the things that they've been told. So I really enjoyed that. I really just enjoyed the plot of this story. I liked the setup. I liked the world building. I think that the giant birds were really cool. However, I really wanted a little bit more description on the birds. I don't fully understand exactly how those work. I really liked the trial under in the caves and what that meant for our characters. I thought that was a really cool element. I liked seeing the different places in the world. I loved the military academy. I thought the monk academy was really cool, and like what they're training Caden to become was also really cool. The spider creature was really cool, and I obviously did like Adair's POV being in the capital and in the politics of it all. I do think a lot of cool things were set up in this, and I'm really interested and excited to see what happens, which is why I give this book a 4-star. I really did enjoy my time with it. However, I just struggled to connect, and I do want to point out that the female characters are not the best. If you are someone who really wants really, really good female characters in all your books, and I love a good female character, Eska, Nona, I'm talking about you. this might not be for you, but I still loved it. I will just say that, like, females are always described what they look like. We also have a female character who literally only exists in order to show how incredible our other male character is and to, like, make you pity him at times and make you feel for him. And she doesn't really have much of a personality other than what she is to that character. That didn't really bother me, I just noticed it, but it could bother other people, so I wanted to point it out. However, I really just, like, enjoyed my time within this world, and I will definitely be recommending it. I'll be picking up the next book. Like, this was 4 stars for me. I really, really did enjoy the time with it, and I'm excited to see where the story goes. Like, the ending kind of blew me away, like, seeing what their arcs all led up to and, like, seeing what that's gonna mean for the next book in the series has me, like, really excited. So I'm really excited to get to book 2. I'm definitely hoping to maybe get to it next week, or at least in November. But November I'm just throwing every book into. November is gonna be a busy month for me, apparently. Now, I did also spin last night because I did a little bit of morning reading and I knew I was gonna do some morning reading today. I say that, I read 1 chapter, but I did spin Immortal Longings by Chloe Gong, so I did start this morning. I've only read a chapter, however, I am really excited already. I really love the, like, ability to, like, jump into other people. That magic already sounds really cool to me, and I like the characters' POV that we've gotten so far, so I'm really excited to dive deeper into this one. I'm excited that the wheel gave it to me. I think I will be able to finish this because I do have sprints tonight, and this is only like 5 hours for me of listening time on audio. It's only like 300 pages, so I do think today and tomorrow I will be able to finish it before the end of week 3 for Battleathon. Okay, they've been stained, and I like that there's a Halloween hand under there. They've been stained, and they have the first coat of the top coat on them. They're just drying, and then I'm gonna do another top coat. I've never filmed in this room so late at night. I don't like the lighting. I have made it to 28%ish. I'm on page 91, chapter 7 of Immortal Longings. I've been listening to it while I was doing my bed today. I mean, for most of the day my sister was there, so I was actually, like, hanging out with her and listening to music. However, she left me when I had to do, like, my final coat of, like, what's it called? Oh my god, my brain is just dead from all the work today. Not stained, but, like, the coat, like the top coat. I had to do, like, my final coat of that. So she went home because she had to go let her dog out and feed him. So I did that by myself, so I listened to the audiobook. I got pretty far. So far I'm really liking lots of the themes in this. I really, really like the, like, unique take on, like, the Hunger Games, and I like that there's magic involved. I really like the magic system. I think the magic system is really cool. However, I'm just missing a little bit of a connection to the characters. I think something the Hunger Games does really, really well is make you really feel for Katniss, especially because she has that moment where she is volunteering herself. I volunteer as tribute! As tribute for her little sister, and you really just, like, automatically have, like, gut-wrenching feelings for Katniss. And then we also have, like, the training set up towards the Hunger Games where you feel for her and you learn about her. And I wish this book did that because I'm struggling to really connect to the characters because we jump so fast into the games. I'm really liking it. I'm liking seeing the brutality of this world, so I'm definitely having a fun time with it, and I'm flying through it, so I'm excited to see what comes next in it. So for my room update, that's finished for tonight, and that's all I'm doing today. But I will have to wait at least 24 hours before I can put those together now that they're stained. And then once that's done, I can put them together, and then I have to spray paint my mirror still and figure out nightstands still. So we have a lot still to do, but it feels nice to have like the big thing done, which is the purchasing of the bed and like staining it, because there was a lot of sanding. My back really hurts, so I'm about to go have a bath because I need like my muscles to relax after all like the bending over and sanding I did today. It was a lot. It was a lot. But I think this will be my final book of the vlog. I'm guessing I won't have a ton of reading time tomorrow to like finish a whole other book, but I will probably start week 4 tomorrow at some point. That's the update. Bath time. I'm sleepy. I'm tired. I did too much stuff today. I have made it 50% into Immortal Longings, and I'm not gonna lie, why do I suck at 5-star predictions? Like, tell me why I suck at them. Because I don't think that this book will get higher than a 3-star. There are so many... Why does construction start as soon as I start talking? Hold on, let me close the door. There are so many cool elements to this story, but this is one of those stories that just like feels so surface level to me. And I feel like that's a complaint I've been having a lot with books, and I just think it's something I'm really truly looking for in books currently. I have decided, after so many years of telling you that I'm not a character-driven reader, I have decided I'm a character-driven reader, but that I don't like character-driven books. I think that there's a difference in that. Like, yes, characters make or break a story for me. However, I need plot. Like, I need plot. I just like can't read a story that is all just small character moments. I typically need somewhat of a plot to go along with that. And that's the difference, I think. That being said, this has too much plot and not enough characters. I just want those moments that make me really feel for the characters. I just don't understand why I should be rooting for this character. I'm being told the regime is bad, but I haven't seen that the regime is bad because of the king. I have been like told a couple times, but I haven't actually like seen it with my own eyes, I feel like. And so like, why should I root for these characters to take down this regime? What makes them better than what's already in place? And I think that is somewhat of the conversation that we're having, is like, power corrupts no matter what. However, like, I want to root for my characters. I want to root for them to win this like Hunger Games style game. But like, I truly just don't care because like, I don't know, you've given me no reason to care about them. I'm a little frustrated because I wanted to love this so much, and I think that there are so many cool elements to it. So it's just like really, really frustrating. I'm gonna listen to the last like 2 hours of the audiobook, and then I'll update you with my final star rating. But somebody tell me why I suck at 5-star predictions. That kind of hurt. Don't do that. I hate that reveal. I literally hate it. Because if we had gotten that reveal earlier on in the story, I think I would have cared more. Because like, that's interesting to me. That's like a reason to care. Why did we get it 70% into the book? Because it would have been a cool reveal at the end of the book, or at like the beginning of the book. I don't know. I didn't like that. I'm gonna finish. Keep you updated. Before I give you my final thoughts on Immortal Longings, I did want to pop in here and tell you what it was about, because I actually don't think I've done that, besides like say that it's a Hunger Games inspiration and an Antony and Cleopatra retelling, things like that. Essentially, we're following this world where there is a king who doesn't leave his castle, and there's like a royal bloodline. Within this world, you can body jump if you have like the magic, and so it's really looked frowned down upon because obviously it's dangerous, but like royal blood is stronger, and so they can kick people out. There's like a whole like system to the magic system. This world is like full of poverty besides obviously the royal family. So the king every year has this like giant competition that's like the Hunger Games, which exists for the exact same reason the Hunger Games exists, to give the people hope and give them a chance at money. Because essentially, if you win and you kill all these other contestants, you get to live your like dreams and your riches, you know, wildest dreams. So we're following our main character, who is the princess of a other royal family that is believed to be dead, as she plots to take down the king. In order to do this, she has to enter the competition, kill everyone, because then the king will come out of hiding, because he hides in his castle all year long, to like bestow the riches on her, and that's the only time he leaves his castle. Honestly, does this sound familiar to you? Because it sounds familiar to me. I finished it. I did not love it. I'm sitting between a 2 and a 3 right now. I think it's probably a 2.5. So I think it's going to get a 2 from me. But it's hard because I want to give it a 3 because there is potential for me to like read the next one in the series because it did read so quickly. But I think that this book is missing what I want out of this style of story. So why I thought this was gonna be a 5-star prediction is because I really truly love dystopian books. The Hunger Games is incredible in my opinion, and Scythe and these things that make me think. When I pick up a dystopian book, I'm really expecting some deeper discussions on humanity and corruption and the state that humans get into, and I think we set up a world, a city where we could have had those discussions, but we didn't get them. Even like the idea of this being an Antony and Cleopatra retelling, when you read Chloe Gong's notes at the end, she wanted it to get across the point of obsession that Antony and Cleopatra have, but I don't feel like I did that, and I would have loved a discussion with like nuance on obsession and how harmful obsession can be and how blindly we give ourselves to obsession. And I thought like that would have been a really interesting discussion, but I just feel like we never scratched the surface. I feel like I was just given exposition. I was just told this is obsession, but I didn't get to like feel it and understand it and like really like feel the obsession with the characters. And I think that is something that dystopian books can do so well, and this just like failed for me. There's also this conversation we could have had about consent, because we have the ability to jump into other people, and I think that could have made a really interesting discussion because it is looked down upon, but people do it, and I think that we could have had a more depth-filled conversation about that, and I think that we just like missed some of the conversations I wanted within the story. I think that it just is what it is, and it felt like a Hunger Games retelling with some magic to me more than a intricate plot story for me. I wanted more from this than what it gave me. I think that there are some really interesting concepts in it, but I just wanted more, truthfully. And that's all I really have to say about it. I'm really, really disappointed by this. I thought this was going to be 5-star vibes for sure from me, so I'm very disappointed currently. But that brings us to the end of week 3. So we did some points, I think, because I read all 3 of these books. So we had 300 plus 20, so 320, and then we had 400 plus 10, so 730, and then we had a 200 book point. So 830, 930. So I did get some good points for the red team this week, and I'm excited for next week. My wheel is sitting over there, but next week the wheel is spinning for me again. It'll be my last weekly reading vlog with the spinner wheel for I don't know how long, but the spinner wheel will be picking tropes or like different things I like. Some of them are settings, I guess, just different things that I think will lead to a 5-star read, and then I will pick a book that has that thing in it. So for example, school setting and non-Western setting are both on there. So if I land on those, I'd have to either pick a book with a school setting or a book with a non-Western setting, and I'm really excited to see what next week brings for me. It's technically Friday at 4:30, so I'm about to go out for dinner, but I plan on starting week 4 when I come home from dinner, and I also plan on building my bed during week 4. So stay tuned if you want to see what it looks like when it's all done, because this is still a mattress on the floor. Anyways, if you made it all the way to the end of this video and you'd like to leave me an emoji just to say you were here, leave me a moon emoji because there is a moon on here. And then if you want to connect with me on other platforms, my Bookstagram, my Book Twitter, my Goodreads, and my Patreon, all linked in the description bar below. Have yourselves an absolutely remarkable day.